And those are the times that really are so vital, because that's what's going to show later on. That's what's going to show when you have the notoriety, when you have the camera, the lights on you, the work that you put in behind the scenes, that's what's going to show and come out in those moments. So people will always be surprised by, how did this person do this, or how did the person do that, or how did they get so big? But a lot of people forget all the work that was put in behind the scenes to get you to that point. Hey, what's going on, Renaissance Lifers? Welcome back to Renaissance Life TV. I'm your host Lee, and today we're talking about 5 things we can learn from Stephen Curry's success. Here at Renaissance Life TV, we give you the tools and skills to take life to a whole new level. Each week you can expect videos on how to, personal growth and success, and a different perspective on navigating life and relationships. Now, this video is a little bit different from the ones that I typically do, but part of learning the tools and the skills to take your life to the next level is seeing what has worked for other people, and Stephen Curry is a great example of that. Now, for those of you who don't know, I love basketball, and Steph is one of those players that I really relate to. Now, you might ask, why do I relate to Steph Curry? And there are a couple reasons. Number 1, we're both listed at 6'3". Number 2, we've both been MVPs. Steph twice in the NBA, once unanimously, and me in JV, in junior high, but an MVP nonetheless. Now, that's probably where a lot of the comparisons end, but Steph has been one of the most prolific shooters and basketball players of this generation. Now, what can we learn from Steph's story about success? The first thing we can learn from Stephen Curry's success is that you can't rely on your background alone or your pedigree. Some of you may know that Steph's dad, Del Curry, also played in the NBA for many years and had a great career and eventually retired from the NBA. Now, while that is the case, Steph had to work his own way into the NBA. Now, when we look at Steph's story of coming up, playing basketball, whether in AAU or in high school, being undersized, finally going to play for Davidson in college, you find that Steph had to make a name for himself all the way through. His game had to speak for itself, and he had to make his way. So what we learned from this is that there is no guarantee that the conditions that existed in the past when your parents did what they did are going to exist today. Likewise, in business, there's no guarantee that the conditions that existed when your predecessor started a company or when your competitor started a company, that those same conditions are going to exist today. But we have to be able to take advantage of the conditions as they stand today, and we have to work with what we have. You have to build your own reputation. The reputation of your parents or the reputation of the company that you once worked for is only going to take you so far. You're going to have to put in the work and make a name for yourself. The second thing that we can learn from Stephen Curry's success is to work when no one is watching. There's no doubt that Steph put in the work behind the scenes when no one was watching. So when he burst on the scene as a prolific shooter, being able to shoot off the dribble, catch and shoot, create shots for himself, everybody was awestruck. Everybody was so surprised by his ability. But you gotta think that he spent hours and hours honing his game, refining his skill set, so that way when the lights were brightest, he was able to perform at the highest level. So in the same way in your own life, whether it's in business, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's in work or in your family or anything you put your mind to, you've got to be able to put in the work when no one is watching. And those are the times that really are so vital, because that's what's going to show later on. That's what's going to show when you have the notoriety, when you have the camera, the lights on you, the work that you put in behind the scenes, that's what's going to show and come out in those moments. So people will always be surprised by, how did this person do this, or how did the person do that, or how did they get so big? But a lot of people forget all the work that was put in behind the scenes to get you to that point. Alright, so the third thing we can learn from Stephen Curry's success is to play your game. Now, for those of you who know a little bit about basketball, Steph Curry is listed at 6'3". Now, while that's tall when compared to the average person, that's not very tall in the NBA. In fact, he's probably one of the shorter people on the court at any given time. which is why he plays the point guard position. Going into college and even in the NBA, he is somewhat undersized as a guard. They're much larger guards. But Stephen Curry didn't come into the league trying to be a dunker and playing a super aggressive game, bullying people with his body and his size, or trying to play that game, because that just wasn't his game. That wasn't his size, but he played to his strengths. He found and honed his unique skill set. And in the same way, you've got to find and hone your own skill set. Play your game. Don't try to play someone else's game. Play your own game. So if you're great at public speaking, focus on that and try to get better in those areas. Yes, you want to build up areas where you're weaker, but you don't want to be who you're not. So if you see people who have a particular skill set, or maybe they have a particular style, it's really important to be able to find your own unique voice, your own style, use your own personality to reach the world and make an impact. There's always going to be someone else doing something else that looks great, but if it's not you, stick to what you do well. And Stephen Curry is a master at that. Stephen Curry literally redefined the game and revolutionized it. It's gotten to the place where teams started defending differently because of the way he played. And now more and more players are playing in that style. Additionally, teams started to use the 3-ball much more based on the way that he played, and in order to be able to compete and keep up with him and his team. Alright, so the fourth thing we can learn from Stephen Curry's success is that even when you experience success, you can expect to experience some level of adversity. So even when Stephen Curry finally broke through, everybody knew his name, while playing in the NBA, Steph experienced adversity through injury. So during the 2011-2012 season, Stephen Curry missed 40 games, including the last 28 games, with injuries to his ankle and foot, and ended up having to have surgery on his ankle. So when you think about getting to the highest level of playing in your sport or being in your industry, a lot of times making it and arriving isn't the end. That's just the beginning of a new journey. And so I want you to anticipate and expect some level of adversity even when you reach success. So for Steph, he ended up having to, of course, rehab that ankle and that foot after having surgery and work his way back. So there's always going to be roadblocks. There's always going to be challenges. There are always going to be the naysayers, your critics. All those things you can expect to experience. In Steph's case, I'm sure there were people on ESPN, on the news, on the radio, talking about his injuries. So what do you do when you hit the roadblocks? What do you do when you hit the challenges? The big thing is to keep your head up, stay encouraged, and work behind the scenes. It's an opportunity to grind, right? It's an opportunity to work when no one else is watching. It's one of those things that it's almost like starting over, but it gives you a unique opportunity to redefine yourself and to come back better than before. And sometimes a setback allows you to be able to focus on those areas again. So typically when a player gets injured, it's a unique opportunity for them to focus on building their strength, building their body, and developing a more complete game because they have the time and the ability to do that, versus if they're playing full time during the season, there's no time to really rehab as you would, or really take care of your body in the same way that you would if you're not playing. And also to focus on building other skills. And when you do that, you'll come back and people won't even recognize you because your game will be even better. Alright, now the fifth thing that we can learn from Stephen Curry's success is that it's really important to have a strong support system. So when you look at Steph from the outside and from those who know him, I'm sure, family is really important to him. And you don't make it through adversity of that magnitude without a strong support system. And it's so important in your own personal life to build a support system, a support network, right? Whether that consists of mentors, whether that's family and friends and people that are close to you that will remain positive and that will continue to push you and encourage you to get back to yourself, or to keep doing and striving at what you're doing. So find your core support system. And once you've found your support system, defend it. you want to protect it because that's the thing that keeps you going. That's the thing that keeps you motivated. It's important that you know that when people can't get to you directly, they're oftentimes going to try to attack your support system or what helps to keep you going, because that's an indirect way of getting to you. So you're going to find yourself in positions where you'll have to defend your support system. So don't shy away from that. And so we see that with Steph Curry. For those of you who know that, there have been times when people have attacked his own support system or his own family. And he has taken that opportunity to speak up and to fight back. Sometimes it doesn't matter whether or not the person was right or wrong. What matters is that those are your people and you support them and protect them no matter what. And that's what they do for you in return. All right, I hope this was entertaining and interesting, and I hope that this has helped you in thinking about how to be successful yourself while looking at an example in Steph Curry. All right, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I want you to subscribe right now and hit the notification bell icon. And don't forget to smash that like button and drop a comment in the comment section below. And I will see you next time on Renaissance Life TV. Cheers.